This is the Google Pixel 3 XL. Great smartphone camera and will be the representative for all smartphone cameras out there. Now this is the Panasonic Lumix G7. Very good entry-level mirrorless camera and will be the representative for just about all actual cameras out there.
Now which is better? I'll tell you of course, but which do you think is better? If you're very confident in your answer, comment it down below right now before you watch the rest of the video. And it's actually a very tricky question because I'm not asking which is better for taking pictures or which is better for taking videos. I'm asking which you would rather have for your photo and video taking needs in the real world. You can only have one, not the other. And since we're talking about the real world, there are a lot of factors to consider. But let's start with the obvious one, photo quality.
Which has better photo quality? Two identical pictures from both devices, which is better? Well, let's not jump to any conclusions. How do we even decide better picture quality? Megapixel count? Pixel size? Focal length? Blurry background? Dynamic range? Nah, let's just use our eyes. Our eyes don't tell us the specs of pictures. They just see. So let's use our eyes to see what we prefer. Look at this picture. Do we like it? And it's just grass, and we don't really care about grass, unless we're vegan, of course. But what do we think of the picture quality? I think the quality is pretty high, actually. Like, it looks pretty good, right? Yeah? Well, now let's forget about it. Just pretend it never existed, okay? Now look at this picture. Do we like it? I know it looks a little familiar, right? But it's still just grass, and we still don't care about grass. But what do we think of the quality of the picture? Pretty good too, right? Okay. Now, which is better? Lefty or righty? How about between these two? Or these? Or these? Now, based on these pictures and these pictures alone, which is the better camera? Lefty or righty? Which camera would you pick for all your camera needs based on these pictures alone? To be honest, I could pick either. I don't think it actually matters for these pictures. I can use either the Pixel 3 or the Panasonic camera with auto settings, and people with eyes like mine won't really notice.
But I do prefer the left set of pictures, aka the Pixel 3's pictures. Does that mean the phone camera is better than the actual camera in these kind of conditions? Well, it can seem that way. But the thing is, we shot these with auto settings on both cameras. And yes, with my phone, I just take my camera out, auto settings, point, shoot, and the photo comes out great, especially with the Pixel. But with my camera, I never ever use auto settings. I always use manual settings and I shoot in RAW mode. Now, let's talk about photo versatility.
How versatile can a photo be? Or better yet, how much can a photo adapt? Remember these pictures? They were taken in auto mode, and I said the Pixel's image is better. They both kind of suck though when it comes to adaptability. Now look at this one. It was taken with my actual camera, but this time with manual settings and in RAW mode. This picture, believe it or not, has way more information in it than the other two pictures combined. And paired with the photo editing app, I can basically make the picture look however I want. Too bright? I can fix that. Too dark? No problem. Can't see anything in the shadows? Well, look again. Don't want to see that much? I got you. Look at the flowers. Too bright, huh? Well, not anymore. Looks too bland? How about now? Colors just don't pop? Well, I disagree. Colors pop too much? Well, that's your personal opinion. But since we're friends, I'll tone it down. Basically, you get the point. These aren't just filters you can put on basic pictures on Instagram. With raw pictures, you can change just about everything in a photo, and I haven't even shown you half of what you can do yet. I've taken great pictures with the Pixel over the time that I've used it. But they just don't compare to the ones I've taken with my actual camera. But then again, it did take a lot more work in post-production with my actual camera, while with my Pixel, it took basically no work at all. Now, I love to take portrait pictures of people and get that blurry background effect. And the Pixel is very good actually. With its one camera, it can take a picture like this and turn it into this. And that looks amazing. But with the right lens on my actual camera, I can get even better results. And even in video mode. And the thing is, it'll be perfect all the time with the camera. With the Pixel, it won't be perfect all the time. But then again, it takes no effort at all, and I'm not sure a lot of people actually notice. Regardless though, in good lighting, I'm not disappointed in any of them, so I doubt you would be either.
So they take great pictures when it's bright and sunny outside. But what about when it's dark?
Well, for lower light scenarios, actual cameras do a great job as their sensors are bigger and better, so they let in more light. There are also a whole lot of settings you can play with to get your camera to take great pictures even in the darkest of environments. Phones really can't compare. The Pixel 3 is a top tier phone camera when it comes to low light, but it's still just a phone camera, so you will need some light in the picture if you want it to even be usable. But that's unless you use its see in the dark mode, aka night sight. It does sometimes take a couple seconds to shoot the picture though, if it's really dark. Like look here, I press shoot, and then it takes the picture. But it does turn this into this, so who can really complain, right? Almost all of the phones can't do this though, and this is really the extreme of circumstances. But the Pixel 3 does a great job in low light situations.
But it does a good job for a phone camera. It still isn't capable of what an actual camera is capable of.
As far as video goes, phones kind of suck in low light. Don't expect much from your phone's video in low light. In fact, don't expect much from your phone's photos in low light, unless your phone is close to as good as the Pixel. But if you get a little light on your face, you should be kind of fine. But you still want to use your camera. Camera is always better. So since the Lumix G7, aka the actual camera, takes better photos and video in any lighting compared to the phone camera, it is the better camera, right? Well, I don't think it's fair to say that yet. Why? Because we're talking about the real world. And in this real world, I've left my camera at home many times and gone out with just my Pixel, even though I think my camera takes objectively better photos. Why is that? Well, let's talk about not photo versatility this time, but camera versatility. You want to take the type of pictures I took with my actual camera? Good for you. I'm so proud of you. Here's what you're going to need. Your actual camera. I use the Panasonic Lumix G7. You want to get a nice lens. This is one of mine. Kit lens, very useful. Oh, and get another lens for those portrait pictures, of course, because the other one can't do that. Oh, and your camera won't save any pictures or video without this guy, your SD card. So get that. You want to get a fast one for 4K video if you want to do that. Speaking of video, the camera itself records crappy sound, so you're going to want to get an external microphone. I use the Rode Video Micro for now. Put this on when it's windy. Don't forget your tripod, always comes in handy. And you also can't really edit the pictures on the camera, so you want to get a laptop. You want a very good one for video editing. Mine's the XPS 15. Oh, the laptop also needs the software to edit the pictures, so yeah, you want to get that. Same thing goes for the video editing software. And yeah, there you go. You're all set. Actually, wait, no, you're not. I forgot to tell you, even with all of this, the content you create might not come out great. So you're going to want to learn everything about your camera. You know, ISO, highlights, don't blow those out. Don't overexpose, obviously. Learn about your shutter speed. Aperture is pretty damn important. I mean, duh. Mess with the audio settings, video settings, picture settings, shadows, focus, and I can't really remember the rest. I'll just tell you later. Now, if you want to take the type of pictures I took on my Pixel, well then first you need the Pixel 3. All versions have the same camera, so you're good. And second, you need a good attitude. And that's about it. And okay, let me be honest, the second part's optional. But that's really all you need. All I used to take the Pixel pictures I showed you was just the Pixel. In fact, on my photography Instagram, I use both the Pixel and my actual camera alternatively, and no one seems to notice a difference. There are also some shots that you can only get with your phone camera that you can't get with your actual camera. For example, you're walking across the street not expecting anything to happen, but suddenly something does. You can simply pull out your phone, which is conveniently in your pocket, go to camera, press capture, and now you have that moment you didn't plan for. With your actual camera, this can't happen. Because I don't know about you, when my camera doesn't fit in my pocket. It's crazy. There are also places where actual cameras aren't allowed to be, like at some movie theaters or concerts or just certain places where they're not allowed to be. But your phone in your pocket could be used there. Even some rules placed by Mother Nature herself affects most cameras, but doesn't really affect phones these days. And that's not all. In the real world today, photography is not just about photo taking. Videography is not just about video taking. It's also about photo sharing and video sharing. And guess what? Everybody is a photographer, a videographer nowadays. Don't believe me? Well, do you have an Instagram account? Have you posted any pics there? Cool, you're a photographer. You have a Facebook account, Twitter account, posted any videos? You're a videographer. Do you have a Snapchat account by any chance? Congratulations, you're a photographer and a videographer. And although a camera isn't meant to access social media, it doesn't change the fact that social media is the biggest part of photography and videography these days. I mean, what use is a photo or video if no one gets to see it, right? When you look at things in this way, you start to see how limited actual cameras are to the whole photography and videography experience, and how much of extra work and how many middlemen you have to go from taking the picture to sharing the picture. Phones, however, are just built for the experience. So which is the better camera? Well, technically, the Lumix G7, aka the actual camera, is the better camera because it takes better pictures and video. But which is the better camera in the real world? Well, that depends on your real world. For me, I can't part ways with my actual camera. I care about its advantages way too much. But what about you? Which is the better camera for you?